Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into the world of Mexico's Day of the Dead, El Dia de Muertos. It's known for being vibrant, lots of color.
Right, the altars, the celebrations. Very festive, usually.
Exactly. But this deep dive, well, it's based on some really fascinating narrative sources that show a much darker side.
Yeah, how these traditions, which are all about honoring the dead, can actually clash with some pretty terrifying modern supernatural threats. It literally bridges worlds.
So our mission here isn't just telling a story.
No, definitely not.
Right.
We want to unpack the truths hidden inside this narrative. Look at how ancient beliefs bump up against these, contemporary supernatural dangers.
And we're also following two really unforgettable characters on their journeys.
Right. Think of this as your shortcut, maybe, to understanding a complex, kind of thrilling world. Lots of aha moments you probably won't find just anywhere else.
Okay, so let's unpack this. It starts in a small, isolated mountain village in Mexico.
Deep in the mountains, yeah.
And specifically, we're in a local cantina right on the Day of the Dead. The sources, they paint this picture of real tension.
Palpable tension. You've got locals, they're armed, they're scared.
And not just of strangers, right? They're talking about monsters.
Yeah, just monsters. It sets this really unsettling tone right from the get-go.
But even with all that fear, the cultural stuff, the Dia de Muertos elements, they're really vivid.
Oh, absolutely. They're almost like another character. You see the altars, the ofrendas, with hand-carved wooden skeletons.
Oh, one's holding a tiny Dos Equis.
Yeah, such a specific, poignant little detail. A tribute to someone's favorite drink.
And you can almost smell the marigolds, the cempasúchil, the flor de muertos draped on the church.
Right, and it's not just decoration. It's this constant reminder that the veil between worlds is thin here, which becomes tragically literal in this story.
Okay, so into this charged atmosphere, our protagonists arrive. Let's start with Sarah Lee. She's described as striking, tall, slim, slanting hazel eyes, long black hair, and her accent is interesting, a mix of New Jersey and Mexico City.
Yeah, it's quite specific. And her clothes really stand out, too.
Right. Practical, combat ready almost, tight cargo pants, short leather jacket.
And she's carrying weapons.
Openly.
Openly. A shotgun and a handgun.
So what does that immediately tell you about her in this world?
Well, it tells you this isn't a place for tourists. She's not just passing through. She's geared up for trouble.
She seems very practical, very gritty.
Exactly. And the narrative makes it clear pretty fast. She's there looking for her brother, Jason. He's 19.
So she has a very strong motivation right away.
Absolutely. She's determined to find him in this clearly dangerous place.
And then there's Tomas. He's also distinctive, but totally different.
Yeah, very different vibe.
High cheekbones, straight black hair from his Incan mother, but then golden skin, European features from his Spanish father.
And he has this line. He sees it as the conquest of a continent written on his face.
That's powerful imagery.
It really is. It hints at this deep, inherited conflict within him, an ancient lineage, maybe a burden he carries.
And he's wearing this expensive suit, like $1,200 from JFK Airport, completely out of place.
Right. And despite all the tension in Cantina, he's just calm.
Supernaturally calm.
Well, yeah. The locals just think he's some rich city guy who's lost. But his calmness isn't normal human calm. It definitely sets him apart even before we know what he is.
Okay, so we've got Sarah, the determined warrior, and Tomas, the calm enigma. And then things start to happen. We get a glimpse of Sarah's power. She's getting impatient, and suddenly glasses behind the bar just explode.
Yeah, one by one. And she hasn't touched her gun or anything. It's not just her being clumsy.
So what is this? Magic.
The sources definitely lean that way. They call her a witch or a mage. It seems like this raw elemental power she has.
Triggered by her emotions.
Exactly. Which makes her really formidable, but also kind of dangerous even to herself. It's not something she seems to fully control.
Tied to her internal state. Got it. And speaking of hidden powers, what about Tomas? His unnerving calm. What's his deal?
You picked up on that calm, yeah. His secret is, well, it's bigger. He's a vampire.
Okay. That explains a lot.
Right. The sources mention his heightened senses, like he walks in and smells old gun oil, powder traces. Works better in the dark, obviously.
And he can affect people's minds.
Yeah, he can fog the minds of humans. It's described as more insidious than just hypnosis. He can subtly warp perception, make people not notice him or twist their thoughts. It's a dangerous tool.
Okay, so a mage and a vampire walk into a cantina. Sounds like the start of something. Then we meet the real monster, Alejandro.
Yes. The one Tomas has traveled, what, 1,000 miles to kill.
And Alejandro has this horrifying Day of the Dead tradition, hunting people.
Or other strong, smart prey, yeah. He releases them after midnight in a 10-mile area, gives them flashlights, weapons, maps, a mockery of a chance.
And the chilling detail.
No one ever lived to see dawn. Simple as that. It's a death sentence disguised as a hunt.
But there's a catch with Alejandro, right? He usually avoids magic users.
He does. Historically, he's steered clear because he's afraid of something called the Silver Circle.
What's the Silver Circle? Sounds like magical police.
That's basically it. The guardian body of the magical community. They maintain balance, deal with rogue elements. Their power is apparently significant enough to make someone like Alejandro cautious.
Which makes his current target really strange. He's after Sarah's brother, Jason.
Right. And Jason isn't just a reporter, he's also a mage.
So Alejandro's breaking his own rules. Why? That raises the stakes immediately.
It absolutely does. And the answer seems tied, again, to Sarah's power.
Yeah.
Her frustration builds in the cantina, and it triggers something huge.
Not just exploding glasses this time.
No, this is described as a silent thunderclap.
Yeah.
It causes a massive landslide, like a literal geological event.
Whoa.
Yeah. Half the cemetery, part of the church, it just slides down the mountain. A huge visual of her uncontrolled power. She even calls herself a jinx.
A walking disaster area where fault lines love me. That's quite a self-assessment.
It really is, and it shows how dangerous her power is, especially when she's distressed.
And in the middle of this chaos, Tomas acts. He saves her.
He does, pulls her out of the way of the landslide, even though he gets badly injured himself. And doing so risks revealing himself to Alejandro's men who are surely nearby.
It's costly heroism, and then he needs to heal vampire style.
Exactly. He has to feed on another vampire's blood. There's one of Alejandro's thugs nearby, Miguel. Tomas feeds on him.
And the healing isn't pleasant.
No. The sources describe a metal in his mouth, taste, excruciating pain as his body rapidly knits itself back together. Supernatural doesn't mean painless.
This intense moment also lets us dive into their pasts, right? Tomas' motivation.
It's deeply personal. Alejandro killed his entire village 400 years ago.
400 years. Wow. And Tomas was enslaved by him?
Yes. And the sources hint at this brutal system of vampire servitude. Masters like Alejandro have absolute power. They can coerce, command. They can even trade their thralls. Tomas was later owned by another master, Louis Cesar.
So, not exactly the romantic vampire myth. It's hierarchical, unforgiving.
Very much so. It paints a grim picture.
And Sarah, what drives her, besides finding Jason?
Well, finding Jason is primary. She calls herself an outside contractor, basically a mercenary, needs lots of magical weaponry.
Sounds expensive.
It probably is. But her core drive is saving her brother. She says, my brother is all I've got, and he's not dying tonight. It's absolute. That's her purpose here.
So not just a job for her.
Not at all. It's everything.
And speaking of unconventional, Sarah has a crew, her knife and gun club.
Oh, yeah. If you thought Sarah and Tomas were unique, her crew is something else.
Like who?
There's this tall, gaunt guy described as a fanatic. He wants to collect bones for spells. Gives you a peek into the darker, maybe more arcane side of magic.
Okay.
While collecting. And then there's Forkface, named for a jagged scar on his cheek. He's basically a walking arsenal. Lots of weapons.
Quite the team. Definitely highlights the morally gray nature of this world.
It's a very motley crew, yeah. Ready for anything, it seems.
All right, so this unlikely group heads into Alejandro's lair. Where is it?
Beneath ancient Mayan ruins, it's described as a maze. Underground passages, storage chambers, natural limestone caverns.
Used by the Mayans?
Parts of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Some areas were like refuse dumps. Others held mystical significance, ancient carvings. It connects the modern horror back to these ancient roots.
Must be atmospheric.
Especially for Tomas. The sources say the tunnels are thick with this oppressive feeling for him. 400 years of memories.
Memories of the hunts.
Exactly. He was forced to participate as Alejandro's angel, his enforcer. He had a hand in hundreds of deaths. It's why his vengeance is so relentless. He was made complicit.
That adds a whole other layer to his motivation. He's not just avenging his village, he's fighting his own past actions.
Precisely. It's a heavy burden.
And down there, they make a strange discovery. Something's missing.
Yeah, this is really intriguing. Alejandro kept the mummified remains of ancient Incan kings as trophies.
Okay, creepy hobby.
Right. But these kings were venerated by Tomas's people. They were believed to still rule, give counsel after death, and now they're gone, missing from their chambers.
Gone where? Especially with the Day of the Dead happening above ground?
It's a huge question mark. Their absence feels significant, ominous, like the boundaries between life and death are being actively messed with, maybe by powers older than Alejandro.
And adding to the tension underground, Sarah has a major weakness here.
Yes, severe claustrophobia, which is incredibly dangerous for someone whose power is tied to emotional distress.
Especially her power, the jinx that can cause landslides underground.
It's a ticking time bomb. Her fear could literally blow the place down on top of them. A fascinating look at how a character's weakness becomes a central threat.
And inevitably, it goes off.
It does. Her panic spikes, the jinx flares, and the cavern starts to cave in. Rocks, dirt exploding inwards.
Terrifying. What does she do?
In desperation, she actually shouts at Tomas, "Hit me,"
Hit her. Why?
as a distraction. Anything to shock her out of the panic, to regain control of the jinx. It's this really unusual, almost self-destructive coping mechanism.
But Tomas doesn't hit her.
No. What happens next is, well, it's completely unexpected. Instinctive, maybe. He kisses her instead.
He kisses her in the middle of a cave-in.
Yeah. And it's not gentle. The sources describe it as evolving into this intense physical intimacy. Raw, desperate, right there as the cavern collapses.
Body effect.
Amazingly, it works. The act grounds her. Her jinx power stabilizes, the cave-in stops.
Wow. That is a unique aha moment. The power of human connection, even intimacy, literally stopping supernatural destruction.
It's really unexpected, yeah.
Yeah.
A fascinating twist on how power and vulnerability interact.
So this unlikely couple alliance, they finally reach Alejandro's main chamber.
Right, this audience hall.
Yeah.
It's this huge natural cave, and it's crammed. Human captives everywhere. And a ring of Alejandro's vampires.
And his plan is revealed. It's grim.
Truly gruesome. He's captured necromancers, and he plans to force them to raise an army of zombies
Zombies? How?
by making the necromancers lend parts of their own souls, creating troops that are utterly loyal, that wouldn't question his orders, a total perversion of Day of the Dead reverence.
And Jason, Sarah's brother, is next in line.
Yeah, he's right there, about to become part of this horrific ritual. The stakes couldn't be higher.
But the odds seem impossible. Alejandro can draw power from all the other vampires there.
Exactly. He's incredibly powerful in that space. So Tomas comes up with a plan. Simple, but
Suicidal.
pretty much. He'll distract Alejandro, go right at him. Buy time for Sarah and her crew to grab Jason.
It shows how far Tomas has come, from just seeking vengeance to actively protecting others.
Definitely. He makes a stand, confronts Alejandro directly, and he gets torn apart. Shattered knee and axe in the spine. The injuries are brutal.
But he keeps going.
He does. Determined to buy that time, even facing certain death. He won't let Alejandro have the satisfaction of killing Jason. It's his 400-year quest, boiling down to this moment of sacrifice.
And just when it looks like it's over for Tomas, the twist.
The big one. Remember the missing Incan kings?
Yeah.
They show up, their withered, ancient bodies,
Yeah.
but reanimated, glowing, and they attack Alejandro and his vampires.
Whoa, where did they come from? How?
Jason. He confirms it later. He says he only woke them up,
He woke up ancient Incan mummy kings.
apparently, and adds that they'd been watching Alejandro for a long time, and they were hungry.
Ancient justice. That is wild. And incredibly satisfying.
It really is a profound intervention. Ties everything together to the ancient world, the disrespect for the dead, the magic.
So chaos ensues.
Total chaos. As the kings attack, the whole tunnel system starts to buckle and collapse, for real this time. The heroes have to flee, making a narrow escape as it all comes down around them.
A fittingly explosive end to Alejandro's reign.
Absolutely.
So they make it out. What's the aftermath like?
It's chaotic. Dazed, rescued people stumbling out into the dawn. The sources say, Day of the Dead celebrated by the living.
Nice touch. And Tomas, he survived.
He did. Though it feels not quite real to him after facing such certain death. And this survival leads him to a huge choice, a real fork in the road.
Okay, what are his options?
Option 1, step into the power vacuum, take Alejandro's place, become a first-level master.
Which means?
Huge power, wealth, fear, control of a Latin American vampire senate, everything he might have wanted after centuries of being powerless.
But there's a risk.
Yeah, the sources are clear. The risk is becoming just like Alejandro,
Yeah.
the very monster he fought for centuries to destroy.
Oof. Okay, what's option 2?
Option 2 is Sarah's offer, blunt maybe, but heartfelt. Join her, be an outside contractor.
Run around with her motley crew, the bone collector and fork face.
Exactly. Dangerous, unconventional jobs, constant peril probably, but different. A kind of freedom maybe.
So ultimate power versus mercenary work with a jinx mage.
That's the choice. And Tomas struggles with it. But then the source says he sees a future. For the first time in who knows how long.
And he chooses.
He chooses Sarah's path. It's not about power, not about inheriting that dark legacy. It's about something else. Purpose, connection, maybe even redemption.
A profound transformation born from this incredibly intense night.
Absolutely. Shows how crisis and unlikely alliances can completely reshape someone.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something for you, our listeners, to think about. In those moments of ultimate crisis, when you're facing down what feels like destiny or some heavy burden you've inherited, what unexpected choices might pop up? Choices that could redefine not just where you're going, but who you actually are.
Yeah, what old stories do you carry? And maybe more importantly, what new stories are you actively choosing to write for yourself right now?